a WikiVidi Documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Daredevil, Season 3. The third season of the American web television series Daredevil, which is based on the Marvel Comics character of the same name, follows Matt Murdock, Daredevil, a blind lawyer by day who fights crime at night. When Wilson Fisk is released from prison, Murdock must decide between hiding from the world or embracing his life as a hero vigilante. The season is set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, sharing continuity with the films and other television series of the franchise. It is produced by Marvel Television in association with ABC Studios, with Erik Oleson serving as showrunner, and series creator Drew Goddard acting as consultant. Charlie Cox stars as Murdock and Vincent D'Onofrio portrays Fisk, with Deborah Ann Woll, Elden Henson and Stephen Ryder also returning from previous seasons. Wilson Bethel and Jay Ali join them. Former series regular Ayelet Zurer also returns in a guest capacity. The season was ordered in July 2016, with Oleson announced as new showrunner for the season in October 2017. Filming began the following month and ended by June 2018, with the season adapting elements from the Born Again comic storyline. The 13-episode season was released on October 19, 2018. Development. At San Diego Comic-Con International 2016, Marvel and Netflix revealed the series had been renewed for a third season, with the expectation that Doug Petrie and Marco Ramirez would return as showrunners from the second season. In October 2017, it was announced that Erik Oleson would replace Petrie and Ramirez as showrunner for the season. The season had yet to be scheduled for release by the end of July 2018, and television critics wondered whether the quality of the season was to blame on this. Netflix VP Cindy Holland responded that the scheduling of the various Marvel Netflix series, especially the crossover miniseries The Defenders, which required cast members from all of the series to come together, was to blame for the delay, and that the company had no issue with the quality of the season. On the contrary, Holland described the season as fantastic, and felt it was a real return to form for the series. Writing. The ending of the miniseries The Defenders, which sees Matt Murdock waking up in a convent surrounded by nuns after being presumed dead, implied elements of the season would be inspired by the Born Again story arc. Charlie Cox was excited to adapt Born Again, calling it an amazing story, and that the implications of the story on the season would be exciting. He cautioned, however, that it would not be a page-for-page adaptation, because if you do that, then you become a foregone conclusion. There may be elements from Born Again, but I'm sure there will be elements that are unfamiliar and surprising and different in order for the show to be compelling to fans who know the comics very well. Oleson crafted an original story for the season, taking pieces of some of my favorite comic book runs that told a larger story. When pitching his ideas to Marvel, Oleson expected more pushback from them, but said Marvel was incredibly excited about the storyline and gave him complete freedom. Executive producer Jeff Loeb did note that despite this apparent freedom, Oleson was still required to deal with Murdock's death in The Defenders, which was part of a fairly good idea as to what Marvel wanted to tackle in terms of story. Before Oleson presented his ideas, Oleson drew inspiration from Born Again and Guardian Devil for the tone of the season. At the start of the season, Oleson noted that Murdock would be broken physically, broken emotionally, and broken spiritually, with his heightened senses failing him. Oleson added, "He's angry at God, he's angry at the fact that he had risked his life to do God's work, and he's questioning whether or not he was a fool." This results in Murdock donning his original black suit, similar to the one he wore in Season 1, since he goes to pretty much the darkest place you can, and is at a point, Oleson notes, when he realizes that he's incapable of being Daredevil, and he would rather just end it than go forward in his life without abilities. Regarding the return of Wilson Fisk, Kingpin, Oleson called him smarter, more calculated, and more manipulative, and felt his inclusion allowed the ability to tell a story that's relevant to the world around us. I looked at the show as a way to examine how tyrants manipulate in order to push their own agenda and cause fear and distrust. Loebs felt the season went back to the world of the crime story. Karen Page's backstory is further explored in the season, with Woll explaining it reveals why shooting someone, James Wesley, and covering it up is a bit more in her wheelhouse, while Foggy Nelson's family and additional backstory is also seen. Casting: Cox, Woll, Henson, and D'Onofrio all return in the season, reprising their roles as Matt Murdock, Daredevil, Karen Page, Foggy Nelson, and Wilson Fisk, Kingpin, respectively. In November 2017, Wilson Bethel was cast as a new series regular, Benjamin Poindexter, and in January 2018, Joanne Worley was revealed to have been cast as Maggie, a nun who cares deeply about Murdock's safety, and was mentioned at the end of The Defenders. Jay Ali was cast as Rahul Ray Nadeem, another FBI agent, by March. Ahead of the season releasing, it was revealed that Leslie Ann Warren had been cast in the season as Mrs. Forbes, and Peter Halpin had been cast as Foggy Nelson's brother Theo, a character that was created for the series. Amy Ratberg also reprises her role as Marcy Stahl in the season, as does Danny Johnson as Benjamin Donovan. Annabella Shoro appears in the season as Rosalie Carboni, following up on her character's introduction in the second season of Luke Cage. Design: Costume designer Liz Vastola noted Daredevil's black suit was purposely ripped and jagged to highlight Matt's state of mind throughout the season. Vastola described Page's wardrobe as fucking fierce, as Page transitions into more of an investigative journalist. Foggy Nelson's look is a complete 180 from what he was wearing in Season 1, with the character now wearing suits made by Martin Greenfield Clothiers. Filming for the season began on November 13, 2017, in New York City. A week of filming for the season in March 2018 took place in the town of Windham, New York, with set photos revealing that the town was representing Fagin Corners, Vermont, the hometown of Karen Page in the comics. The production paid for the renovation of a local store to portray a diner for the series, and used the town's emergency helicopter pad. Additional filming locations for the week included nearby ski areas and a country club. The exterior of the Lotte New York Palace Hotel served as the building of Fisk's penthouse while under FBI surveillance. Filming for the season was completed by mid-June 2018. Release: The third season of Daredevil was released on October 19, 2018 on the streaming service Netflix, worldwide, in Ultra HD 4K. Initially thought to be releasing in 2017. Netflix COO Ted Sarandos stated in July 2016 that the season would not debut until 2018 at the earliest, after The Defenders released on August 18, 2017. Cox was hopeful the season would debut in 2018, and in October 2017, Marvel revealed the season was indeed expected to release in 2018. In mid-September 2018, the season's release date was revealed. Marketing: By mid-June 2018, discussions were underway regarding the season being promoted at San Diego Comic-Con that year. A teaser trailer for the season was included as a post-credits scene at the end of the second season of Iron Fist. A full trailer for the season was released on October 4, 2018, which also confirmed Bethel's role as Benjamin Poindexter in the season. Cox, Henson, Woll, D'Onofrio, Worley, Bethel, and Ali promoted the season at New York Comic Con on October 6, 2018. Critical response: The review aggregation website Rotten Tomatoes reported a 88% approval rating based on 25 reviews, with an average rating of 7.45. The website's critical consensus reads: The Man with No Fear returns to top form with a third season that begins tediously slow, but gradually generates comic book thrills, immeasurably helped by the welcome return of Vincent D'Onofrio's menacing Kingpin. Metacritic reported a score of 69 based on 5 reviews. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?